Protection is not a feeling. It is a system. Family, we are living through a moment where the truth is no longer hidden. Across the world, people are realizing something they were never supposed to say out loud. The systems we were told would protect us no longer do. The rules don't hold the way they were promised. Participation doesn't guarantee safety. Compliance doesn't guarantee stability. And Black America knows this better than anyone. We have lived through centuries where the law existed but did not protect us, where institutions functioned but not for us, where participation was demanded but security was never delivered. We've been told, again and again, that if we just believed harder, integrated deeper, waited longer, things would even out. But history has already answered that question. Protection does not come from belief. Protection comes from structure. There's a concept used in the world of nations called collective defense. Strip away the military language, and what it really means is simple. No one survives alone. Risk is reduced when people pool resources. Stability increases when responsibility is shared. The cost of resilience is lower when it is carried together. That is not radical. That is practical. And Black people have practiced this before, long before we were allowed access to formal institutions, mutual aid societies, burial funds, cooperative farms, credit unions, churches that doubled as banks, schools, and safety nets. These were not symbolic gestures. They were infrastructure. What has changed is not the need for collective protection. What has changed is the scale of the threat and the scale of what we must build. We are entering an era where power is no longer pretending to be neutral, where economic systems are used as pressure, where access can be withdrawn, where instability is no longer an exception but a strategy. In that kind of world, a people who do not control housing have no leverage. A people who do not control healthcare have no security. A people who do not control capital have no durability. This is not about fear. This is about preparation. The Black Infrastructure Trust exists because memory alone is not enough. Marches alone are not enough. Representation alone is not enough. We need systems that do not disappear when political winds shift. We need foundations that cannot be voted away, defunded quietly or stripped in a crisis. It is collective defense without weapons. It is shared risk without isolation. It is autonomy without withdrawal. Nationally, it creates coordinated capacity, policy leverage, financial tools, and long-term strategy. Locally, it anchors ownership where people live and work, through employee-owned collectives that keep values circulating instead of leaking out. This is not about separation from America. It is about insulation from instability. Every household understands this logic. You buy insurance not because you expect disaster, but because you understand vulnerability. You don't wait for fire to start before installing the system. It is insurance at the scale of the people. Some will ask, why now? Because the illusion has cracked. Because the lie is no longer even useful. Because the world is openly telling us that protection will increasingly belong to those who can provide it for themselves and share it with others. We are not powerless, but power in use is indistinguishable from power denied. The question before us is not whether the future will be stable. It won't be. The question is whether Black America will face that future fragmented and exposed, or organized, anchored, and prepared. We don't need to beg systems that were never designed to hold us. We need to build the ones that will. This is not abandonment of values. It is commitment to survival. And survival, when done together, becomes freedom.
Myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull.
The mayor and Minneapolis residents expressing outrage, refuting DHS's claim that they acted in self-defense. The agents are conducting, quote, targeted operations in the city, but the police chief says there's no indication the victim was the target of a law enforcement investigation.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.